change a dry setup to a wet setup on the car. Obviously in the wet there's less grip. To counter this, you need to increase the downforce on the front and rear wing elements. You can achieve this by increasing the angle of both of those elements. In addition, you can soften the springs. Softening the springs improves the traction, but there is a danger. Soften too much and you will lower your ride height, and in monsoon conditions you may aquaplane off the circuit. There are 4 types of tyre available to you: dry tyre, intermediate, wet, and the monsoon tyre. On dry tarmac, use the dry tyre because it has the best grip and the biggest contact patch with the tarmac. If there's a little bit of water on the tarmac, use the intermediate tyre. It has cuts in it to disperse some of the water away, but it will still last on a drying surface. Be careful on a drying circuit that you don't overheat them, so use the wet line on straights. In normal wet conditions, the wet tyres offer the best compromise between grip and water dispersal. The monsoon tyres are designed for very heavy wet conditions. These tyres will disperse a lot of water, but they're too soft to be run on a dry or drying surface. Okay, it's Sunday afternoon. Your car's sat on the grid. You can see what the weather is like at the moment, but you've been handed a weather forecast that says the weather may change. Do you go dry setup or wet setup? And what tyres do you fit? Well, if you're at the front end of the grid, you'll probably opt for a low-risk strategy. That means going for a tyre and a setup with the conditions as they are at that moment in time. However, if you're at the back of the grid or a little bit further forward, you may opt for a high-risk strategy. The high risk is putting tyres and setup for something that may happen in the future, according to that weather forecast. And who knows, this may pay dividends. There's points to be scored and possibly a podium.